What if your future with your team was hanging in the balance, uncertain from one moment to the next? Well, that's exactly what Philadelphia Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert had to endure this offseason. Amid trade rumors, contract talks, and a looming question mark over his future, Goedert faced one of the toughest summers of his career. But spoiler alert, he's staying in Philly for the long haul. In today's video, we dive into the highs, the lows, and the emotional roller coaster of Goedert's offseason and what it means for the Eagles going forward. Before we jump in, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for all the latest NFL updates. And if you've got thoughts on Goedert's situation, drop a comment below. Let's get into it. The Philadelphia Eagles have been on a wild ride these past few seasons, coming off a heart-wrenching Super Bowl loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. They've remained in the spotlight as one of the NFL's elite teams. But amid all the headlines surrounding their dominance, one name stood out during the offseason: Dallas Goedert. Now, Goedert is no stranger to the spotlight. A top-tier tight end and a key part of the Eagles' offense, he's been a reliable target for Jalen Hurts. But this offseason, it was all about uncertainty. Rumors were swirling, whispers of trades and potential exits. Would the Eagles be moving on from their star tight end? Or would they lock him down for the future? This offseason, the Eagles faced some big decisions. With a stacked roster, including pricey contracts for players like Hurts and A.J. Brown, it was no surprise that rumors began to surface about Goedert's future. After all, in a league where teams are constantly juggling salary caps and roster spots, tough decisions have to be made. And with Philadelphia's cap situation, it seemed like a real possibility that Goedert might find himself traded to another team. Now, let's be clear, this wasn't about Goedert's talent. Far from it. He's one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. The problem: his contract. He was due for a big payday, and that could have meant the Eagles might need to part ways with him. So what did Dallas Goedert do during all of this? According to Goedert himself, this offseason was the first time he had to really confront uncertainty like this. In a recent interview, he opened up about the emotional toll it took on him. "It was the first offseason I really had to deal with something like that," Goedert said. "It was tougher than I would have expected. There were days where I would just sit and stare at the TV and wonder what was going to happen." It wasn't just the trade rumors that made things difficult for Goedert. It was the back-and-forth emotions that came with it. "There were days where I was excited to leave, then sad to leave, and then excited to stay," Goedert explained. "There was just so much uncertainty that it was hard to handle." Imagine this: you spent your entire career building something great with a team, forming bonds with your teammates, your coaches, and your fans. And then, suddenly, all of that is up in the air. The team you've been with for so long is considering parting ways with you. It's a lot to process, even for a seasoned veteran. But despite the uncertainty, Goedert never lost faith. He remained in constant communication with Eagles general manager Howie Roseman and his agent, hoping for some clarity on his future. And finally, that clarity came when the Eagles worked out a restructured deal that kept Goedert in Philly for another season. The relief in Goedert's voice was palpable when he talked about getting the deal done. "I'm excited to have the opportunity to run it back with the same team," Goedert said. "It feels good to be staying in Philadelphia. It means everything." And that's what this is all about. While other players may leave for bigger contracts, bigger markets, or just a change of scenery, Goedert's loyalty to Philly runs deep. After all, this is a team that took him from a small school prospect to an elite NFL tight end. It's where he's built his career, and it's where he plans to keep it going. This deal is a huge win for the Eagles. Goedert is a central figure in their offense, a safety blanket for Jalen Hurts, and an elite weapon in the passing game. In 2022, Goedert hauled in 55 catches for 702 yards and 3 touchdowns, proving he can be relied upon to deliver in key moments. The Eagles were just one game away from winning it all last season, and bringing Goedert back keeps the core of that offense intact. With A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and now Goedert, the Eagles' passing attack is as dangerous as ever. But it's not just about the stats. It's about what Goedert brings to the locker room, his leadership and his consistency. By locking down Goedert, the Eagles not only ensure they have one of the best tight ends in the league, but they also show that they're committed to continuity. And in a league where teams are constantly shifting rosters, that stability will be huge. Looking ahead, Goedert is set to be a major part of the Eagles' push for back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. With a stacked roster and high expectations, there's a lot riding on this season. But for Goedert, it's not just about the championships. It's about the team and the city he loves. "It means everything to me," Goedert said. "Philadelphia is home, and I'm ready to go win with this team." And there you have it. Dallas Goedert is back in Philly, and the Eagles are better for it. But we want to know, how do you think this will impact the Eagles' Super Bowl chances this season? Will they make it back to the big game, or will another team rise to the occasion? Drop a comment below, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. As always, we'll keep you updated on all the latest NFL news, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.